Welcome to another video of RPA Project 1. So for your quick introduction, you can see right now on your screen that what all we are going to cover in this project. And if you want to understand in detail, you have to watch my another video which I have already done, and link is available in the description. This is our project structure which we are going to do. So this is the schedule of each video you can see on your screen right now. And all of these videos will be available on the mentioned dates, and the link of the playlist will be available in the description of each video, so that you can click on that link and reach on the playlist directly. But if you are starting from this video, you don't have to worry about other parts, because you can start from anywhere, and in the end the video number 6 is where I will connect all the workflows. So you can start from video number 1, you can start from video number 4, you can start from video number 5. You don't have to worry about the starting point, but watch the complete video together at one time, okay, so that you understand the entire flow. Otherwise you have to do some revisions once again. So there is one more thing, like the structure of the website can change anytime, but the basic concept will remain same. So you don't have to worry if you see some other image or if you see some other structure of the website tomorrow, because these are the county website. They have all the rights to change them anytime, but the basic concept will remain same. How to click, how to check the folder, that will remain always same. Only thing is that your click and typing steps will be changed. And now today we are starting to develop county workflows. So today we will develop the automation workflow for DuPage County. Okay, we are working on 3 different counties. So first we will develop for DuPage. After that we will develop for Miami, and then after that we will develop automation workflow for Orange County. So 3 different counties we have considered into this project. Alright, as you can see right now on your screen, there are 5 input parameters which are required and common into these all counties. And the last one is the output parameter. Alright, so when we will create these workflows, these will be variables initially, and then later on, when we will connect entire project together, then these variables will become input arguments. And other than these input arguments, there will be certain variable which are required for particular county. So those will not be the common parameters, but yes, inside we have to use those variables to perform different kind of actions, because the structure of all 3 counties is different. There is one more thing before I go ahead and I start the development. You can see all these steps, and you can see these steps like this is the entire project workflow as I have just explained. And then this slide I have just explained that we need these 5 arguments. But this first development workflow will be slow. Why it will be slow? Because I will be starting and I will be telling you many things which will not be repeated into coming workflows, like shortcuts of Uipath, which will enable the faster development of the workflows. You will learn in this. I might not be repeating them again and again in coming videos. And then right approach, that how to rename the activities, and then how to put annotation, and how to use comments, which are the best practices when we do development, and multiple ways to do same action. So we will repeat actions. So I will explain you that how to do that multiple ways, and then how to design a proper workflow, which is explaining the process direction properly. And then if I have one sequence which have, let's say, 5 actions, and out of those 3 actions are getting repeated, then how to reuse that same sequence once again. So these are the reasons that this workflow will be little longer. Let's start. I will quickly start my UiPath Studio. Okay, let's create a new project. Right, and let's choose our desired location. So here RPA projects we are using. Select this folder, and then you have to give a name to this process. Title, search. For better control on naming convention, I always use underscore. This is UI path. This so this we are creating the project. UI path can take some time to create project settings. So here is our project file which is ready. Now let's go to the folder and see. So the folder is created and you have all the files available. So what I will do is I will just rename this file to the county name. I will explain you later that why we required county workflow file with the particular names. Alright. Now let's open this file. You can change the name here also. Page. Now first of all we will drag a flowchart here. So Control Shift T is the shortcut to get all the activities. Otherwise you can take activities from here also. So you will type flowchart. But I will recommend that you use shortcuts most of the time. So Control Shift T is the shortcut to get activities list. And now in this flowchart. So we have the flowchart here, and this is always a good practice to keep renaming your activities for better control on the project. Function F2 is the shortcut key, and then you can change flow to page, right? Then open this flowchart and let's minimize this activity panel. Minimize this panel also properties. You have all the panels access here. Whenever you want, you can click and you can see. Now let's increase the width of our canvas. You have this available, and I always start from the corner. Refer back to the presentation. So let's create these variables first of all. House num, owner name, house number, street name, pin code, URL. So I am creating this with in because later on we will require to convert these into parameters. So that's why I am adding this in. And then we have IN zip code. So let me do a small correction. And then finally we need URL. Now first of all we have to open the county URL. So activity for that is open browser. Okay, and now we have to pass the URL here. So since we have the variable URL, so we will use same variable here. IN URL. All right. And then you can hit this plus sign also to get the list of activities. But I will use again the shortcut Control Shift P. And then there is an activity called maximize window. So I'll be using that activity inside the open browser activity to maximize the browser window when it is open. All right, so let me show you the data now. So we have data into this county data file. So I will copy this or I will cut from here and I will paste inside the project folder itself so that we can access the file without any long path. So this is just a random data collection. I have typed some address and I have got some data. I am using the same data here. So what we will do is that we will just assign these values as default values to the variables which are there. I have already explained about this sheet in my previous video, so you can just watch the video and understand what is this sheet and how it will work. So let's assign the default values. So just for the individual county development, we are using these default values. But when we will combine entire project end to end, these default values will come from Excel. So this is the house number or Mr. John Carey. You will understand end to end, and this is the, let's consider only this part as the street address, and then zip code is this one. And now we have county URL. So you don't see county URL in this sheet. But county URL is available with county name. So you focus on this name. In project, we will be doing lookup in terms of Excel, or we will be searching the URL for this particular county, which is available into this sheet. So you have this UPage county URL here at this point of time. So URL can change any time, but the concept will remain same. So we have the URL. So we have value for all the variables now, default variables. Okay. Okay, we have already passed the URL. So let's try and test this part. Before that, let me change the, and before that, let's go to the properties. So you just click on this and then go to properties, and you can choose the browser type. Here I am choosing Chrome, and ensure that the Chrome extension is available. How to add the extension? You can go home and tools. From here you can add the extension if it is not there in your Chrome browser. All right, let's run this flow now. So process is completed successfully. You can see that the browser is opened. All right. So now next point is that we have to type the address. So you have this search page here. So now next point is that we have to type address. So we have to type number here, and then we have to type street address here. So street number here is the house number. Okay. So for that, let's try to do the web recording. Type some data here, and you just type anything as of now, and click on this empty field, which will remove the already existing data if it is there. After empty field, you come here this side, and then you, after clicking back on this, then you have to hit enter. Next, you can type street address. Click on this, it will automatically prompt this window. You can just type test data, click on the empty field, and then click back here, hit enter. That's it. We need this much. Now you can come out of the recording by using escape and then save. So you have this recording. Let's name this recording. Function F2 is the shortcut key. Name the recording as type press details. Set this as the start node, because when we are doing development, we have to test each recording. That is the best practice. We should not be starting the workflow again, because we have already tested this part and it has already opened this URL. Now this URL is already open. We can make this as a start node, and then we can run this workflow once again. And then we can, before that, let's use our variables also. So here we will use IN house number, and if you want, just change this to house number, so that if error is coming, you can directly reach on that particular activity that where this error has occurred. Then you can just do function F to rename, type street name. And before we go ahead, I would like to tell you one more very important step in Uipath, that if you want to see all the variable names, let me delete this name, and then you can press space. You will see all the variables which are available for that particular. So as of now, okay, so you can see IN, JIP and everything. All right. So this is the one which we are using. You can select, click on this, so it will come. All right. Now let's run this. So we have already set that as a start node. You can see that arrow key is directly connected with it. And now I will run this file. Let's see. Yes, you can see that address is typed successful. Okay, as per our variable values. So where are our variable values? So you see the variable house number is this and the street name is this, and same is typed by the bot. Alright. So since this is not coming on the screen and everything is happening in background because we are using recording. So if you want to see everything on the top, then you can just do one small change. You just have to go select this activity, go into properties, click before typing. You can just make it true. Okay. So sometimes click before typing works very well because few elements will not be activated without click. So I just run this again. Alright, successfully typed. Since this is the first video, so I would like to explain everything in detail. So once we have created one recording, it is always a good practice to check the generated selectors. So you have to, okay. So what we will do is just we will rename this panel also. So this is the attached browser window. I have explained all the windows, all the type of windows and all the type of recordings into different video. Here we will just rename this. Now what we have to do is we have to check selectors and we have to validate them. So properties, you have it here. All right. So you see there is nothing looks to be changed in future also, and you can just validate it. And if you want to highlight anything, so highlight also you can use. So see when you will do highlight, you see this red circle just next to my cursor. So this is highlighting entire window of this particular website. All right. So nothing seems to be changed. We will not touch this selector. Now we will come inside this activity. We will, and then we will go again back to properties and we will check the selectors. And I will not be repeating these all parts in my upcoming videos of county development. So you have to watch this complete video so that you understand everything in detail. Okay, so we can check the selector here. So if you feel like it will be changed sometime, you can change it. You can put like a star here and then you can validate once again. This is how you can check all the. Now let me go back and let's move to the next part. So we have opened the address now. So what we will do is next we have to click on search. So I will take it click activity, not I will not be doing the recording for this one. I will go here, activities, click, take it here. Okay, I will go on screen indicate on the screen, and I will click on this search button. Then I have to rename this. Click on search button. And if you want to check that if the selector has come properly or not, you have to go back to properties and you can go then check. You can validate and you can click on highlight. So when you click on highlight, let's click on highlight. You when you click highlight, you see the button is highlighted. Open this. So this button is highlighted. And right, so this is how you use these selector properties. Okay, there is another way to get the selectors, which is UiPath Explorer. I have done a separate video. You can watch that video and understand how to use UiPath Explorer to create the selectors. Right? Let me explain how to use it. Okay, now I will click on that particular button. So it will show me the selector. And let's say if you want to add something else to ensure that the selector is properly working and you want to add some other attributes, HTML attributes out of this. Okay, so you can use like this. So I will just take this one now just for the illustration. It is not required though, but yes, I can take and then you can just copy this. Okay, and then I will do validate. Yes, selector is available on the page right now. And if you want to recheck, you can highlight. Okay, so if you have to add some other part of that particular element or you have to do changes in the selector, that time you use UI Explorer of UiPath. I will copy this and I will just apply this to my element. So remember all of this extra work I am doing just to make you understand better in this first video, and later on we will not be going in this much detail. Okay. So this red circle is coming because we have not clicked back on the highlight. We have to remove this. Now we can close the UI Explorer, right? So we have, and we can just validate this again and again and then click OK. All right. Now let's test only this part. So right click here, set as a start node. So we have already, the address is already available, and then we just have to hit on this search button. So you just run this part. So you can see the workflow has clicked on the search button. The page is loaded after touch, and you have this next page, which I will be explaining now, the upcoming part of this video. All right, let's go back to our workflow file. Now, next is that we have to validate that if page is successfully opened or not. So just to ensure that page is successfully opened or not, what we can do is that we can wait or we can verify if some element which belongs to this particular screen or this particular web page is available or not. So let's say this billing address which is coming only on this screen. Okay, so we can validate this. If it is available, then we will go further. Otherwise, we will write the status as next page not visible. So for that, let's on Control Shift T. After Control Shift T, we have to look for element exist. Okay. So if you want to see that what element exists too, so you can just go to the activity panel, element exists. So you can just put the cursor. So it says enables you to verify if a UI element exists. Okay. So it basically returns that some element is available on the web page or it is not available. So this is the use of this activity. So I will just put this activity here as the design. Okay. So what we can do is one which will interrupt your workflow. You can put a star here. Then you just validate first of all before you are using the selector. So you see the element is available. Now, if you want to validate further that yes, which element is available, then you can click on highlight. So it has highlighted the element. So we can use this selector. If you want to, if you want to just remove all of these things and still you want to test this, validate. Yes, it is available still and highlighting the same thing. So I will just click on highlight once again. It is still highlighting the same element. So I think this will be the better selector. I will use this selector in the workflow. So I will close this for now. I will go inside and then I will just change the selector, validate once again before I am finalizing, and then click on OK. Okay. So now this will return. Here you can click and control K is the shortcut key. You can create a variable like address page visible. Okay, so this the result will come into this, and it always element exists always returns boolean. You can click on this variable, and then you will see like it will show you the detail of this variable. So you can see on the left hand side it is showing that address page visible is as boolean. So when you use Control K, it automatically takes the type of that variable. Okay, so now what we can do is we can just make this as a start node, and then if you want to test it, so what you can do. Okay, so let's take a decision. Okay, and then in the decision box, we can use, we can click on this activity, and then if you remember the name, it is well and good. And you go to properties. After clicking on this activity, you go to properties, and then this is the variable name address page visible. So same variable we will use here. Okay, so to go to properties, the shortcut is Control Alt A. So here is the property panel, and in this you can use the variable address page is visible. It will by default take as true, and it will execute the true branch. If the page is not available, it will execute the false branch. Right, so let's just test it. Control Shift T, right line. Okay. And then you can copy this from here and paste. Use your arrow keys. And then connect this. So, to branch false. Alright, so I am running this directly from here. Page is already open for us. Okay. Now let's run this. So it is running, and the execution is completed. Let's see which branch is executed right now. True branch. So you can see the output values of the result of write lines into output panels. So true branches executed because we have this element available right now on the page. Now let's do one thing. Go back to home. And now let's check if the element is available or not. So we will run this once again, and then let's see which branch will get executed. Flow is waiting for the element to visible, and it will wait for 30 seconds for that element to be visible. If it will not be available in 30 seconds, then it will return as false. But you can control the time. Okay, so let's see the output. And then I will tell you how can you put your time. So you want to wait for only 2 seconds, or you want to wait for only 1 second. So which depends scenario to scenario. So if you just know that element will be very fast loaded, you can wait for 1 second. If you think that element will take time to load, then you can wait for more seconds. So you can see now false branch. So from here, so some timeout. So timeout is the properties of all the UI element in UI path. You can read more about that. So 3 seconds I would like to wait only, not more than that. And let's run this once again. One, two, three. Okay. So it has waited only for 3 seconds and then given the result that no, it is not available. Okay. So hope you got the flow so far. We don't need this because I have taken off this only for the illustration purpose. We have to delete this and then we will move forward. Okay, so let's do one thing now. So to continue the flow, we have to reach back on the same page. So let's do one thing. Let's just run this workflow from start. Set this first activity as a start node, and then connect this, connect this. And I will, as of now, I will close the browser manually. And when we will have this entire process connected, then there will be a solution for this thing that it will automatically close the existing browser. Let me run this now. Execution is successful in 11 seconds. So we are back on the same page. Now what is next? That if there are two branches, right? True and false. So if it is false, we will send the output status, not the detailed page is not visible. And if it is true, next step will be that we have to check if this name is matching with the name which we have. All right. So the next for so for that we have to get this name into a variable. So let's do that first in the to branch. So I will create a sequence. To create a sequence, Control Shift T, and you can take sequence from here manually, and now you can rename this sequence as name. The first action inside this sequence, you just double click on the sequence and you will see this screen. First of all, we have to use get text, and I can indicate on a screen here is the element from which we need text. So it is basically taking the entire address. Okay, so we have to break work, and this kind of behavior will depend county to county. So in this, we have to take this and then we have to take the name out. Or what we can do is we can directly check if name is available in the address and then we can go on. All right, and let's rename this activity billing details. All right, and now you are already aware that we have this owner name John and Carrie. So what we will do is you can try more and more combinations, and you can make a sophisticated function also here or sophisticated loop. But what I will do for now, just for the basic illustration, I will be taking the first name out of the entire name all the time. So first name is John basically. So for that, what I will do is I will take a assign activity and I will rename this assign activity at name. Okay, so we will get this value in owner name, and then on this value, let's go to the properties. You can go to properties from here also, and I will be using shortcut. Control Alt A. So let's create a variable using Control K here. First name, like that. So these variables are different county to county because the behavior of each county is different. I will just cut this from here, select completely and Control X, and then I will use a split function. This is the default function of the .NET class, and then I can paste the string which we have to split. So we have to split this owner name. If you go to variables by one space, right, and then we have to take the first part of this string, all right, and then click OK. So let me show you the variable detail once again. So the first owner, this is the owner name which is just created for this particular sequence, and then this is our input owner name. So owner first name is coming when we are breaking this with a space, this value John and Kerry, and then we are assigning that to owner first name. Hope this is clear to you. Let me show you this entire formula once again. You can use it. All right. Now let's do one thing, that this page is already available, so we don't have to run the flow from start for testing. So what we will do is we will just run this part, set as a start node. You don't worry because this connection is in the opposite side. So if you want, you can delete it, so you are not confused. And then you can just, for testing purpose, use a write line activity and then owner first name. All right, and run this. So let's see if we are able to get owner first name. Yes, it is successfully coming as John. This is coming from our variable. All right. So now we have to check that this first name is available in this extracted name or not. Okay, so extracted name, we have to create the variable here, properties and value, billing details, or we can say like billing details. Okay, so the variable is extracted billing details. Now what we have to do is that we have to check, we have to take a if activity, billing details name, and then if you want you can right click and put annotation and explain. Here we are extracted billing details or not. Okay, so you, the annotation will come like this. If you want to minimize this part, you have to click on this symbol. Okay, so it will come like when you will focus. But how to do that now is, so we have to extracted billing details and then we have to convert that to upper, just to ensure that if input is coming in any form, our workflow is running fine. All right. and then we will use contains. So when we are using contains, we have to check that this is the variable where we are getting that name, the output of this. Okay, right line. Now we have to just contains this, and this also we have to do to upper, so that any case the workflow is not failed. All right. If you want to see this condition properly, I'll just zoom for your reference. So this is how the condition will become. All right. This is the billing address. We have converted the to upper, and then we are checking that if this billing address upper contains the first owner name or not. All right. Let's go back to the same zoom. All right. So if this condition is true, then automatically then part will be executed. And if condition is not true, then this part. If name exists, I am telling you everything in detail so that in coming videos I have to put less effort to make you understand, because the structure is going to remain almost same. Only thing is that we will be changing few variables into upcoming videos. Okay. So if name exists, what we have to do is we will create a variable which will name as, let's create a new variable and name that as owner name validation result, and this will be a boolean type, and this has to be accessed across outside of this sequence also. So we can change the scope to entire main workflow, which is flow due page. So this is the topmost scope in this workflow. So we have changed that. So now what we have to do is we have to use a assign activity and function f2 owner main validation result. Okay, and same activity we can copy and paste here, and the assignment will, when you will click on this, when you will press space, automatically all the variables will come. Owner name validation result is our variable, and we will set it to we are true, and if not, then owner name variable will be set to false. Owner name validation result variable is set to false. All right. Now we will use this result to go further in this workflow. So let's see that come out. So let's do one thing. Let's print first of all. So now we have the variable and we have the page also which is visible. So flow can extract the data. Now we have to check that if we are able to print the result successfully or not. So I am taking a right line activity for that. And then owner validation name result dot. This is a boolean function, so we have to convert that into string. Now let's run and check. So you see it is true because the name is available. Okay. So now we can use this in the decision flow once again. So let's set this here because this is how the flow will go. And then we can use again a flow decision. Here we can change this. I'll just make a short name, flow decision, billing page. All right. So if it is true, it will come here at the side. Now we are validating here in the sequence. If you want to put annotation in this well, and then once it will look like this, you click on this pin icon and it will be undocked. All right. Let's delete this and let's take one more flow decision from activities here. Name match. All right. So you can make this zooming at 90% if you want to see. So what we can do is we can arrange this side. Here we can use Google properties and you can mention like which expression, condition expression. So which variable we want to use. So for condition, we want to use owner name, validation result. If the result is true, this branch will be executed. If the result is false, this branch will be executed. Okay, so here let me create one more variable which will be converted into arguments in the later part. And that variable is extraction status. So extraction status will be the final status. So let's say if billing page is not available, then we will set the extraction status as billing page not available. And same thing here, if the flow goes false here, then we will set the extraction status as owner name mismatch. So the variable will remain same or the argument will remain same, but the value of that argument will be passed differently based on the outcome of the workflow. Hope you understood that. So multiple values for the same argument we will be using. And we will be writing this in the same Excel, which I have presented in my previous video. And if you want to see that Excel once again, here is the Excel. So what we will be doing that we will be writing the status here. All right. The status, these values, those values will come here for each record. Hope you are able to connect. Let's go back. So if name matches, so first of all, we are creating all the true branches and then we will work on the false branches also. What will happen if it is true? Then save X payment info. Okay, so now I will set this as the start node. And what we will do simply, we will just come here and then we will send control P on this page itself. And then after control P, you just once you have to select this as PDF manually. Okay, and then we will click on save. Okay, so these are the manual steps which we are going to do now. Before that, what we have to do, create folders, if not and save the print screen as PDF. This naming come when All right. So once you will click this, you can undock this by clicking here in this icon. Okay. So what we are doing, we are first creating a folder. Okay, so let's double click on this. First of all, we have to check what is the naming convention for the folder. So what I will do is, first of all, I will create one more variable, which is like order. Okay, and order folder will be, so I have this RPA project folder. And inside this, my project is available. So what I will do is I will take this as a complete path for now. Okay, and I will just paste here, and then inside this, I will give one more name after that, due page. Okay, this is the main folder, and then in this, what we have to do is we have to add the in owner name. Why we have taken this in? Because in future we have to convert these into the arguments. So right now only you can think like what all we require as the argument, input argument, and then you can change the name accordingly. So owner name, and what we will do is we will replace all the spaces in the owner name with nothing. So dot replace. Okay, and then space with nothing. So this is how the folder will be created. Let me show you the expression once again. So why we are not able to see the variable? Because the scope of the variable is only inside this. So until unless we are not inside, we cannot see that variable. Now you can see this variable here. So I'll just show the entire variable to you. Here it is. Okay, and since we will require this into the next sequence as well when we will save another document. So we have to change the accessibility of this order folder variable, and we can just change this to top workflow, which is flow due page. Now let's come back to the sequence. So what I have to do, first of all, I have to find some element where I have to send the print key. Control Shift T, or you can click here also on this button. Okay. So now send hotkey. So where you want to send the key, you have to indicate that element on the screen. So we want to send the key here on this screen. So you can identify any element and you just click on that element, and because even if we will send the key here, control P, then also it will be printed, and on any element you can send the key. So let's say I'll just click on this parcel address and it is come. So we can change like SH, and then you can write tax payment. Right, and what is that key? This control and P. Alright, so now let's test this part. So this I have already set as start node because this page is already open and the element is also available. So this is our element where we are sending key. Alright, now let's run this and check. Yeah, so you can see the key is sent, and if I will open this window is available. Once the window is available, you see the default focus is on save. So if I directly hit enter from here, and it is save as PDF, and I am using Chrome browser. So these are the three things which we have to check. and you can check more settings, do more changes if you want, and just hit enter will show you this prompt screen. So you understood, I have to hit enter after that and then type the folder address here. So that is the next step now. For now, let's just keep it open, and you will find this very difficult to access this window because it is outside of the available window. So for that, there are tech tricks if you want to access two different windows parallelly. So there are different things for that, which I will be covering into the another video. But as of now, for this project, we will be directly sending another hotkey after few seconds, which is enter. So once this is available, we will have sent the control P. So what I will do is I will create one more send hotkey. I will not give any selector because we have to send this key directly on whatever window is available after. I'll just take some seconds of delay. Properties and 0, 0, 0, 0. I think 1, 2, 3, 4 seconds delay will be enough, and you can see as per your requirement. And then we will send just enter here. Okay, and once we will hit enter, and once let's hit enter once again, and then we will have this file name available. So what we have to do is next step is we have to use type into activity. We have to indicate this on. You can use recordings also here. You can type into, and then you have to, and then for which document we are doing this. So these naming conventions are very important when you are creating very large workflows, and it directly gives you the target element name. So if there is any issue, and if you have to search work on that issue, you can directly refer the activity name and you can understand from there. Experiment. This is our document. What is the path which we have to type? Now, first thing that we have already created one variable which is giving us the main folder path. You can change this like this: main folder order folder path. So when you change the variable name in Uipath, a change is applicable across wherever that variable is used. Okay. So we will give this main folder, main order folder, plus again the name of the document. What is the name of the document? Or you can directly type here name of the document. Okay, after that we have to use name of the document directly here. Tax payment info. So let me open this into the expression editor. Replace or replace what you want to replace spaces with nothing. So you can replace other characters also, but as of now, other characters are not in scope, so that's not required. And then plus in the end, we have to use .pdf so that it is saving the document in the PDF format. Hope you understood this main order folder which we had already created, and it is also included the owner name if you remember, and then inside that we are giving the document name after a forward slash create which will separate the subdirectory, and then we are using .pdf, which will yeah, and then we are adding the owner name just for the differentiation, and then we are saving that entire document as PDF. Okay. Now let's try to run the flow from here. So here we require this element. If we are running the flow from here, so this element is already available, which is billing address. Okay. Parcel address also is available on the same screen. So if we will run, if we want to test only this part, then we don't have to run this entire workflow. We can start it from here. All right. Let's run and see. So Control P hotkey is sent. Now it should enter after 3 seconds. It is typing the name. Okay. So hope you have seen the entire flow. Now the question is that what if the document is already available? It will send some error, right? So for that, what we can do is to ensure that if document is created. Okay, so you got my point that if document is already available, we should delete this before we are saving this. So now since we have already created the pattern or the path, okay, while we are saving, so we can use same path. Let's go back to the editor, and so main folder, so we have to pass this name here. Most important point. So let's say if document is not there, then how can it delete? If document is not there, the flow will not find anything or bot will not find anything to delete. So what we can do is, as an easy option, we can make it continue on error. So even if it is not available and some error will come, it will go on. And one more thing, that we have to create this folder. Okay, so for creating the folder, first we have to check that if folder already exists. So Control Shift T, path exists, which is our path, main folder. This is not required because we are anyways deleting the folder. So what we can do is we can directly create the folder. But for illustration, I am just using this also so that you will understand. It might not be required now in this project, but in future projects it might be required. Okay, so now we have taken and then we have given this variable name to this, and we will go to properties, and that it returns a boolean result. So when you will do, you will just do Control K, go inside this Control K, okay, and then you can set like path main folder status. Okay, and then after that you can use if condition, and when you use if condition, write path main folder status. If it is true, then we don't have to create the folder. If it is false, then we can just do right here something, or if you want, you can just skip this step also. Folder exists. Now let's say if it is false, so output of this or the check of this is false, then you can create the folder. So now create file or create folder. So create folder and you can use main order folder. So let me explain this flow once again. We are coming here, we are sending print, and then we are sending the hotkey enter. So let me do the steps manually also. Control P, and then if I hit enter, so this will come, and then we are deleting the document if already exists. After that, we are checking that if path exists or not exist. If exist, we are not doing anything. If not exist, we are creating the folder with the same path. Okay, hope you got my point. And after that, we are typing the path here. And the last is that we have to click the save button. Click save button. And then I will just rename this. Okay. So it will save the document. I have zoomed on 50% and then I am showing you all the activities once again. Now let's go back and zoom for 19. Now let's go back and make the zoom at 90%. We use so I will save this and then now this is the time to test this sequence. 8 actions are there, you can see here. And I'll run this file now. So it has sent the key hotkey to the page. Just hit enter and then just typing the file name. So to make the typing faster, I have a trick which I will be explaining in the upcoming videos. Alright. So the document is saved. Let's go ahead and check in the folder. RPA projects, title search. You have the folder created here at 11:50 and you can see my video timing. Alright. Here is my video timing. I will open this. So you can see the customer name and then you can see the file. So the file name is as we have mentioned, like text info and then. So this is the entire structure of the path which we have created. So till here we have taken default and then we have given this name as due page and then we had given this name which is the customer name without a space and then same thing after this uh, like we have used this. All right, hope you are able to connect with the flow. Now next is that we have to save this another document which is the accessment information or any document you can choose for yourself. So I will choose property tax distribution and you can try on any document. And one more thing I would like to tell that in this scope we are using only one record, but in upcoming counties we have to deal with multiple records also. We can just copy this particular sequence. We don't have to do all the activities again. All right, and then we can rename this from properties pane and we can type save tax distribution. All right. So now what we have to do is that this is the default page. So we have never clicked. This tax information is the default page. But since we have to come on this page, we have to click on this particular tab. So first step in this will be I will delete this because this selector will be changed. Or if you want, you can just change the selector. So let's delete for now. And then I will click on this tab first of all, distribution, and I will just go to properties. I will open this and I will check if I have to change anything. So I find that selector is quite stable. It is taking this complete name. And let's rename this text. Okay. And then after we have to again use send hotkey. So why we have deleted this hotkey from the previous flow? Because the element which is visible on this page will be different. Okay, so what I will do is I will find out some other element which we will use to send hotkey for print. Okay, so let's say the accessment here I will use, and I will target this element and then send control P function F2. You click on this and then use function F2 sh, which is send hotkey print. You can use annotation also, which I will leave you to decide. And then I am sending control and P. After sending control P here, if you notice that all these steps will remain same. This window will remain same because this element is, we have to hit enter. So that step is also same. After hitting enter, we have to type the name, but we have to make the changes. We have to make this change this part. So in the place of text info, we have to use property text distribution. Okay, so let's go back to our workflow file and see. So sending enter will remain same. Send deleting the file. So we are deleting the file, right? So we have to change this. Open the expression and same name we have to use, which is property text distribution. Right? I will copy this name so that there is no mistake. Okay. And same changes we will do. So this is just folder creation. We are not using any file name. This main folder will remain same all the time. This one. But when we are typing and here we are creating the main folder. So again, this folder is already created. So I think we don't need this part because the folder creation is already done in the first sequence. Delete this. You can delete this. So this path is already exist, and now we have to do changes here. All right. So in the changes, what we will do, properties, we will go and we will write the same name which I have just copied. Oh, all right. Then again the same save button will come because the window will remain same. So what we can do is we can just do this as set start node. Let me close this window before we start testing this flow. Okay. You can see this typing the details here, property text distribution and dot detail. All right, so let's see if it has saved the document. It has deleted the previous document, so I think we are doing some mistake. Yes, the name was not changed here. Might be I have not saved it after changing. So let's paste. It is already copied. So let's paste. Alright, so I'll show this once again, and the same part I will show in the another flow also before this. For this it is. Here only difference is the naming convention. Alright, here it is. That's it. So I will run this once again because I have deleted the document. I have set this I have set this as a start node now, and before that I have to come on this default page, default landing page, click and then run. Just click, it will hit enter after 3 seconds. Save. Okay. Now you have two different documents that's go inside page. These are two different documents which are saved. This is the first PDF and this is another PDF. All right. So now next is that we have to now we have everything. When everything is going fine, we have the flow. Now next is that we have to think that when things are not fine, what we have to do. So as I have explained that we have to use one more output argument, extraction status, and the value of this extraction status will be successful if everything goes fine. If let's say owner name is not matched, then it will return owner name mismatch. If the page is not available, then it will return that web page is not available. So now we have to work on that. So we can connect the entire flow now, and it will come here if it is true. After true, it will save this. I have to take this down. So let's say if it is false, we have to create two more sequences here. Control Shift T. Click here on the workflow file. Control Shift T. Take a sequence and you name this sequence as function F2 and name is at name is. So what will you do? Why I have taken the sequence, and for better illustration, I think this should be like this. Okay. So what we have, this will be the end. So after this, the flow will exit. So what I have to do is, I am just taking a write line activity for now. It might be some other activities later on, and I am writing name miss, and I am creating one more argument, which will be the output argument in the end part of this entire project, which is after 3 to 4 videos. This out extraction result. Okay, so what we will do is we will have this assign F2 extraction result. So out extraction result value will here will be same value which I have written. I will be using that only here. All right, and this is one sequence. You can copy the same sequence and you can use same sequence here. Function F2 if billing page not found. All right. So what you can do is you can just change the value, but argument will remain same or the variable will remain same. PI billing page not found. Copy this value and as it is you can. All right. Again, once everything goes fine, you can use this variable here. SU extracted extract result. Okay. So you can use like act done or simply done. I just want to keep it simple. Done. Okay. So you can write a notation set extraction status when billing page not found. Set extraction result when owner's name mismatch and just click this pin icon. All right. And then finally, if it is success, so the flow is coming here down, then flow is coming here, right? Set extraction result to done when document are extracted as you told. Okay, so there are three different status which are going, and these are the endpoints for that particular transaction. So when we will use this workflow in the loop and one by one, so this will be executed for each row in the upcoming part of this project. Okay, so if it is success, this will be the endpoint. If it is failure, this will be the endpoint. So whatever is coming, it is coming as the result. So we come here, and then yes, so everything is connected. So just to visualize on the single screen, I'll zoom in my Uipath Studio workflow. You can see the entire structure of this. So you can see and now this is the time that yes, we should run entire flow. So I will close this Chrome. Now let's run entire flow once again. You can see all these steps are happening automatically now. It's completed. So let me show you. So John M. Kerry, and both the files are just now saved. You can see the timing here, and then you can see the timing here. My system. Now what we will do is that we will change the variable names for testing. So as of now, we are doing everything manually, but when we will connect this as a project, everything will happen automatically from Excel. Okay, and in place of Excel, you can use SQL or anything, SQL database or anything. Let's change the name. We will use this customer. Okay, and use this house number, his house number. And these things will be broken by one another workflow, which we will create as fourth video in this project. And then finally, we will take zip code. Right, rest everything will remain same because this also will remain same. County is same, and this workflow is using the variable from here, owner name. So we are taking the owner name from here, and we are using the owner name here. So it will be automatically changed with this variable. I hope you got my point. So this variable is declared here. Now let's first of all let's see there is only one folder as of now, and let's run and check once again. I have to close this, and this closing will happen automatically once we will connect entire project. So now I will run this once again. So our values are set. Let's check. Yes, values are set. Everything is happening automatically from now. Just type. So there is a error. Page is not visible, and we have covered this scenario. Okay, so now let's see what is the output right now. I know the error, so I will tell you purposely I have done this. So you see the output will be, so Flow could not find this billing page. You understand? So the output should be this, billing page not found. Now let's see and check. So output is billing page not found because the page was not available within 3 seconds. Hope you can connect the starting part of this video that we have set the time in properties for this activity billing page available 3000 milliseconds, which is 3 seconds. So it has come out, and that is the end of the flow. Now the error here is that I have, when I was copying this name, this comma came along. I have deleted the comma now, and I have closed this Chrome. Okay, let's save the changes and run the flow once again. First document is saved. It is on the next document now. All right, let's see. Here is the due page folder. Inside due page, there are two folders now. Just now it is created. You can check, compare this with my timing here, here. All right, and there are two different documents. Let's open the first document. This is the first document basically, which is tax info. So open this document. You can see the name is here also, and you can see the details here for the same. All right. We have two more counties to be developed, and in this we have handle only one record. So when you search the new record, only one record will come. But in coming counties, we will have like when you search some record, there might be one result and multiple result also. So we will learn more into upcoming counties. Please subscribe to my channel, share my channel to your friends, to your social media groups, so that my videos become popular and it can help more people. That will be definitely helpful for me also. And if you will give me the feedback in comments, that will be really helpful for me. And your likes will definitely motivate my purpose. Thank you very much for your time. See you in the next video of Orange County. Happy learnings.